Hello and a warm welcome. This is your host, Mr. T, and I'm delighted to be continuing with the series on functions. In this specific video, we're going to be looking at how to determine equations of graphs, specifically looking at how to determine the equation of a hyperbola and an exponential graph. So we're going to go straight into the first question, where we're required to consider the sketch below and determine the equation of that graph. So the sketch that is given is the one that you're seeing on the screen right now. We want to establish what we know from that graph. Already I can see that we've got two asymptotes given. Y is equals to 1 and x is equals to 0. And we've got an x-intercept at -2. So that's the information that I'm going to use to determine the equation of that graph. But what else do we know? We know that the general equation of that parabola at grade 10 is given by y is equals to a over x plus q. But what else do we know? We know that the horizontal asymptote, your y is equals to -1. The y is equals to -1 asymptote is actually equivalent to that q value. So I can say that but my y is equals to q, which is equals to 1. So already we know the q value, which is equivalent to 1. So I can substitute that value and rewrite the same equation as y is equals to a over x plus 1. I'm now going to make use of the point -2 is to 0, that point there, the x-intercept. I'm going to substitute it into that equation. So if you do it correctly, we're going to get 0 is equals to a over -2 plus 1. Simplifying that, we get -1 is equals to a over -2. Solving for a, we get our a value to be equivalent to 2. And therefore, the equation of that parabola will be given as y is equals to 2 over x plus 1. Again, just as a reminder, that a value is positive, and if you recall from theory, if you've got an a value which is positive, you expect your curves to be in quadrant 1 and 2. So our results are consistent with what we expect in theory. We move on. Consider the sketch below. So we want to consider that sketch. Immediately you recognize that's an exponential function based on the form that is given, y is equals to a to the power x plus q. You know from theory again that your q value is actually equivalent to the horizontal asymptote, which is 0. So we are required to determine the equation of the graph above. So to kickstart, we know that our q value, without a doubt, the q value is equal to 0. And having established that our q value is equal to 0, I rewrite the same original equation as y is equals to a to the power x only. And I immediately substitute the point -1 is to 2. That point that lies on that exponential function, we're going to substitute it into that equation. And in so doing, we're going to get 2 is equals to a to the -1. Manipulating the a to the -1 into a positive exponent, we're going to have it as 2 is equals to 1 over a. Solving for a, we're going to get 2a is equals to 1, and our a value gives us a half. And therefore, the equation of that exponential function straight away should give us y is equals to half to the power x. Pretty much straightforward. I hope you enjoyed that. Keep watching. Until next time, this is Mr. T. Bye-bye.